let's get crack-a-lacking on with the list mission. So, you have spent nearly 2 months now off of active combat duty. Other Deathwatch kill teams are still being deployed from the Lance of Penance. However, you have all effectively been stood down, the watch captain declaring your squad unfit for combat service at the moment. A large part of that, of course, being Barbas, who was laid up in the apothecary with a major gut wound. However, the Damocles Crusade has carried on around you, and the Damocles Crusade fleet has finally arrived at Dal'yth, the first major Sept world it has encountered. You have been maintaining your combat routines, maintaining your drills, but you've noticed a change in the ship. Everyone's on high alert. You are hearing constant reports of the outgoing naval conflict within this Sept. From what you've heard, things aren't going well. Every battle report you've been able to get your hands on, the Tau have been utterly hammering the Imperials. The Damocles Crusade fleet has lost most of its ships already, and it quickly looks like this is turning into a major defeat. The Lance of Penance has been held in reserve. It is an ancient, venerable ship from before the heresy. But all the same, it's still carrying precious, precious cargo that can't really be risked. And as the naval conflict above Dal'yth is entering its second Terran Standard day of fighting, you have all been summoned to the Strategium. In the Strategium is Watch Captain Varvras, Chaplain Orla, Keeper Kazriel, and Keeper Hamish. It is in fact the majority of the Deathwatch command team. There is also a few other Deathwatch Marines around that you would not quite recognise. However, you catch the sort of ending of what was probably another briefing here from the Watch Captain as he is addressing a Lamenter's Space Marine. Brother Tychon, your Corvus Blackstar awaits. May the Emperor guide your hand. And he gives the Astartes, who are now swiftly leaving the Strategium, a standard Astartes salute, fist slamming into his black breastplate, rustling the chains. The rest of the Deathwatch Marines nod, salute back, and leave. You are beckoned in by the Watch Captain to the Strategium table. He looks you up and down, and once again, Sala is notably missing. Brothers, a mission of the direst import has come. The entire forces of Zalfron are being mustered against this threat. Are you combat ready?
Yes! Yes, we are.
I am always combat ready, Watch Captain.
I do not think I've been waiting for a fight this long.
The servitors can only hold so much against me.
I have been since last mission.
Very well. The assault on Dal'yth has gone poorly. The combined naval forces of the Tau are proving more than a match for our small Crusade fleet. Where at Sayekel we simply destroyed them with a boarding run. Here, and the Strategium flickers, displaying a massed array of Xenos vessels guarding the Sept world. Another world, within the bounds of the system, is already clearly under assault by Imperial ground forces, and they seem to be making steady progress. But it is this primary world where the array of naval forces are gathered that the Crusade fleet has now essentially been broken upon. The ships around it are scattered, and it's clear they've been forced to retreat a few times. And the image enhances zooming in on these strange twin dome-like ships with a bridge between the two domes. And the Watch Captain gestures. This is a Kroot Warsphere, essentially a floating city in space, housing thousands of Xenos abominations known as the Kroot. I believe you are familiar with the Xenos, correct?
We are.
Quite.
Yes.
These Kroot Warspheres are blocking our boarding runs. These ships are slow, cumbersome, and poorly designed, but their shields are powerful, their durability rivals that of an Imperial battleship, and they are filled to the brim with formidable close-range fighters, making boarding actions extremely difficult. We have already lost numerous Astartes in boarding runs on these ships, and the close-range firepower that these war spheres can unleash makes a boarding run by modern Astartes vessels practically suicidal. As such, there is but one option. The stratagem screen flickers again, and the Lance of Penance in a simulation begins to be displayed, moving towards the tower defenses. The surviving elements of the Damocles Crusade fleet will move forward to engage the tower, covering our advance through their long-range missile bombardments. The Lance of Penance is faster than any ship here, and far stealthier. We will perform what is known as a sickle-cut maneuver, and the Lance of Penance dips down out of the mast array of the rest of the fleet, and then swings back up to launch upwards through the Kroot Warspheres. Here, as he points as the Lance of Penance is like right in between 4 Kroot Warspheres, like perfectly arranged. We will launch Black Star boarding pods. These are boarding pods equipped with the same stealth technology as a Corvus Black Star. As such, you will be undetected in Void until you reach contact with the Warspheres. Once aboard these Warspheres, you will locate their shield generators, disable them, and then evacuate. After that, the Blade of Woe will move forward. And he gestures to the capital ship of the entire Damocles Crusade. And with its macro cannons, will annihilate the Kroot Warspheres, creating a break for the sides of the Emperor to break through and launch their own boarding runs on the Tau long-range fire ships.
Quite brutal,
Indeed.
Nothing less than they deserve.
Brother Hamish. And Hamish will step forward, and he begins tapping onto the stratagem. The Deathwatch has numerous scans of Kroot Warspheres, but no two are the same. I have compiled what I believe could be best described as an average Kroot Warsphere, and the stratagem flickers, displaying sort of this large-scale schematic. I have downloaded these schematics onto a data slate, which I will provide to you on your departure. They will serve as a rough navigational guide through the ship. We believe the shield generators to be twofold. One located here, and he gestures at one dome, part of one dome, and a second here, and gestures at another part of the dome. We believe that simply disabling one will leave half of the ship uncovered by its shields, or the shields so weakened that the Blade of Woe's weapons will simply tear through the weakened defenses. The watch captain then turns his gaze across all of you. Any questions, brothers?
Brother Watch Captain, where is Sala?
Brother Sala is not fit for duty. He is in isolation until I deem to release him otherwise.
Garfield looks just at the other squad members, just in a what the frack is this kind of look?
So, is Sala like in the equivalent of like a Space Marine psych ward?
No. He's been sent off to pray in a locked room.
Like me on the warp travels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been there myself. It's not a good time.
As I would not hope it to be. How are we intended to make our way back? Is there an extraction plan?
The extraction plan is a spacewalk. Not ideal, I know, but we can't risk landing a Corvus Black Star in one of their hangar bays, especially since we have no idea of any hangar bays that could be located in these war spheres. The Kroot do not use fighters, which may as well just be a spacewalk anyway.
My, this mission gets more interesting as you progress, Watch Captain.
Tell me about it.
Do we have a scan of their ship, Watch Captain?
Garfield, were you not paying attention?
No.
Hamish just presented a full schematic!
been caught silly.
I've been caught requisitioning.
You've been caught carrying the player side of this campaign.
If you want my advice for extraction, lock yourselves together with mag seals. Once you establish a Vox transmission to the Lance of Penance, our Corvus Black Stars will be standing by to pick you up. Any further questions, Kill Team Ignis?
Watch Captain, do we know how many life forms are aboard?
The watch captain turns to Hamish, who is Zalfron's resident expert on the Tau. There could be between millions and billions. These things are floating cities. It's hard to gauge. Their size usually correlates the size of these ones. We are looking at Kroots in the millions. Constantinos, you would know that the Kroot likely have set defensive points for boarding. These ships are basically just massive urban combat fields, which makes them horrendous to assault and fantastic to defend. Basically, this is urban warfare. It's not quite a boarding action. There will be elements where you suddenly have to switch from boarding action tactics of taking a tight corridor to suddenly fighting in a city block. It is absolutely a horrific boarding action. You can see why other Marines have died going in here. Like, this is not good. Garfield, from your assessment, basically speed is the key. Looking at this, you want to be in here as little as possible. You want to be in and out. You want to hit those shield generators and you want to be gone. The longer you spend in here, the more chances the Kroot will have to outmaneuver you, outflank you, and surround you, and throw you into ambush after ambush after ambush, where you have to defend yourself from all sides.
Constantinos is gonna, hold his tongue until they leave the briefing room. Because Constantinos doesn't want to be, openly oh, so they're sending us into a death trap. He doesn't want to, cause an argument or anything.
Yeah. I will say as well, Garfield, you also know that this is a horrendous assault target.
Is there, from my assault tactics pass, is there any sort of interesting routes we can take through observing for schematics and things?
It entirely depends where you end up landing.
Brother Captain.
Yes, Dima.
Are these things' shields so strong that the Blade of Woe's macro cannons can't penetrate it outright to begin with?
The watch captain gives you a solemn nod.
Dima will fold his arms.
I do not want to distract from the importance of this mission, but there is one little thing that's been bothering me.
The watch captain gestures for you to, speak.
In Sala's state, we've noticed that Ignis Renatus is missing.
It is in my keeping.
August nods.
I'm glad to hear that.
Watch Captain,
Yes.
are there any tactics or recommendations that other chapters may employ that you would recommend?
As a tear of proudness goes down Constantinos' eye.
Garfield's trying, he really is.
The watch captain gives you an approving nod. Unfortunately, Garfield, this is something I believe only the Deathwatch can do. You are the best of your chapter. Premier killers. You will have to rely on all of your skill as warriors to survive this undertaking. Rely on your bonds of brotherhood, and you will prevail.
Yes, Watch Captain.
Garfield thumps his chest.
The watch captain nods, presuming there are no more questions.
Barbas, who's been kind of staring at the hollow map, kind of nods to himself. He can't make any sense of this silly Xenos architecture, but he gestures to keep a Hamish. Can we expect to encounter any armored foes in this war sphere?
Hamish shakes his head. The Kroot do not operate any form of armored warfare. They employ large beasts, but you should be fine. Taking large-scale, high-penetration weapons are not the key. High damage, high caliber, though, would be.
There are no Tau battle suits there, then.
The Tau do not board Kroot ships.
Var,
Yes.
given that way back, I quite well passed that Kroot knowledge test, could I make a lore beasts to scholastic lore beasts to know about any larger beast forms we might encounter inside the Warsphere.
Absolutely. Okay, so you would know that there are these things called Narlocs.
Cool.
Oh no.
Awesome.
Oh no.
So August will ask,
Keeper Hamish,
Yes, brother.
how many Narlocs would you estimate might be housed in a ship of this size?
Greater or lesser?
Both.
Lesser? In the hundreds. Greater? At least 20.
Damn.
What is a Narlock, cousin?
It is a beast that even you cannot fell alone, Garfield.
Keeper Hamish stabs a few keys on the strategium, and a giant Tyrannosaurus-like creature appears with a giant Kroot face. It is a human is there for scale, and it dwarfs even an Astartes with its bulk.
And what exactly are these things capable of, other than extreme physicality?
These greater Narlocs are simple animals, dumb beasts, but they can easily bite through an Astartes, power armor and all, with a single sweep of their jaws. Constantinos, with your knowledge of the Kroot, you would know that everything Keeper Hamish is saying is correct, and that the greater Narlocs are kind of a semi-religious thing in the Kroots. They're prized creatures.
That is knowledge to be used for later.
With that forbidden law pass, are we able to tell why the Tau don't hang out with the crew?
Nope.
Can I roll Forbidden Lore Tau?
Yeah, go on.
I spent the XP, I'm going to use it.
Oh, never mind.
Keeper Hamish,
Yes, brother.
what of the Kroot hierarchy in these ships? Anything to be concerned of?
Nothing of particular note. Kroot are led by shamanistic, charismatic leaders known as Shapers, of various types, each one with a different responsibility. The greatest threat to you would be a War Shaper. They are warriors who are masters of leading the Kroot in the ways of war, as you could possibly infer.
Thank you.
Keeper Hamish,
Yes, brother.
why are there no Tau aboard?
I am not quite sure myself. I have never personally been aboard a Kroot vessel.
Would you like to?
I will be. The Watch Captain and the rest of the command kill team, including myself, will be deploying to another one of these Kroot Warspheres. The Watch Captain nods. And we are surely pressed for time, Ignis. I wish you the best of luck. May the Emperor guide your hand.
As he does yours, Fatherus.
The Watch Captain will nod. You are dismissed. You guys quickly head down to the armory, where you are actually going to meet a new character.
What?
Is it Tychon?
Lore.
As you are heading down to the armory, you are intercepted as you are entering into the armory by a large, hulking marine who is a massed knot of mechadendrites, bionics, and augury systems. Greetings, brothers. I am Master of the Forge, Adio of the Brazen Minotaurs. I am here to assist you with your requisitions. I have noted that your requisition forms seem to come with a large deal of deliberation and, how do I put this, something to do with a las cannon?
But Barbus has to stop a laugh.
If you have any need of additional guidance of what you may need or what is available to you within the halls of the armory, I am always at my brother's services. However, Constantinos, I would request a private word with you.
I would, Master.
This guy sounds like what the disturbing voice perk it sounds like in my head.
He definitely has it. Adio leads you away from the rest of your kill team to a secluded room and shuts the door, sealing you off from the outside. Brother, I have a question for you.
Yes.
In your last mission were you not assaulted by malign scrap code?
I was indeed, yes.
It takes some time for mission reports to ever be raised to me, for I am often engaged in work elsewhere. But you see, I believe you may have been infected with what is known as a technovirus. Do you know what this is, brother?
I've heard of scrap code and other similar things before. What is so special of this one?
It is demonic in origin. It will have attached itself to your machine spirit. There is a very real chance, brother, that you will be carrying this malignancy for the rest of your life.
So what does this mean for me?
If I had the time, I would place you under constant observation and technical evaluation. But, well, I myself am being deployed to combat, which should tell you the severity of the mission we are facing.
Aye.
Make sure you have performed your sacred rites and appeased all of your machine spirits. And remember, brother, to be one of the cog is to give up one's soul to be infused with that of the machine.
Of course, brother Forge Master. It shall never be forgotten my sacred duties that I must perform. Thank you for your knowledge and warning. I'll be extra cautious.
The Forge Master puts his hand on your shoulder pad, and his augur rays seem to, zoom in, and it's the closest you could imagine a tech priest kind of expressing concern, or at least from someone so heavily augmented. Look after yourself, brother.
Same to you. This mission seems very brutal on all parts. It'd be a shame to see another one of the cog lose in battle.
Adio nods, opens the door, and takes his leave. So you are in the armory corridors, your requisition forms sent off with minimal argument, and now you turn to the question of who shall be the squad lead on this most vital of missions.
I vote for myself as squad lead.
A rather surprising decision, Garthiel.
My thoughts exactly. I would like to nominate Barbara's Dynasty as squad lead.
I second this.
I find myself concurring.
Brother Garthiel, although this type of mission I would choose you, it does seem us walking into a defensive death trap. The mastery of Devastator is much more required for this.
We are assaulting a ship, Constantinos. I know my way around an assault.
You'll see in due time what I mean, but we are walking into a death trap or charging in blindly will not be our greatest friend.
Patience will be our ally in this, Garfield. I'm not certain you have it yet.
Gathiel will look at them and be like,
Fine. We shall see if you all regret your choices.
Garthiel, if I may.
You may not.
In a mission such as this...
Again, the Garthiel you may not.
I am afraid, Garthiel, it was not a question in need of answer. It was simply being polite. But in this scenario, I believe you will work better as part of the whole, rather than the leading edge.
I will listen to your orders if you are squad lead.
And I will take up the mantle and the responsibility that comes with.
With your requisitions acquired, your squad leader of Barbus chosen, and your oath sworn to your brothers, you begin loading into the Black Star boarding torpedoes. These torpedoes are sleek, dagger-like, bristling with sensory equipment. All around you, you see other kill teams. You see the Watch Captain's kill team, all loading into these boarding torpedoes, getting ready for this most vital mission. The success of the Damocles Crusade hangs in the balance here. You all know this. You all know that, should you fail in this offensive, the Crusade fleet will be destroyed, the ground forces that have already made landfall will be wiped out, and the vulnerable Imperial Army transports will be torn apart by the Tau. No one could have expected such a devastating barrage in space to be placed here, and rumblings around the fleet that have reached you suggest that these tactics are familiar to other veterans of the Tau. That these tactics remind a lot of Imperials of bitter defeats they've already suffered against the Second Sphere expansion. And with that, the Crescent Moon maneuver begins. You can all feel the inertia changing, the forces, as the Lance of Penance is pushed to its absolute peak of performance. Its ancient Archotech engines screaming in the void as it is launched in this devastating maneuver. And suddenly, with a flash of green light inside of the pod, you feel the boarding torpedo launched into the sullen silence of the void. Those of you who have done boarding actions before know this part, and it is a dreadful experience. You are strapped in to this thinly armoured, high-speed projectile, utterly silent. All around you is battle and weapons fire and detonations, but you can't hear a single whisper of them. You've known, all of you, brothers whose glorious campaigns have been snuffed out suddenly in actions like these, as a stray round catches their boarding torpedo and they are blown to pieces and spread amongst the stars. And you are all holding yourselves pensively. What would each of you be doing inside of the boarding torpedo?
Constantinus would probably be mumbling prayers to the Omnisaya.
Like, August would be paying very close attention to the hands and dials of Chrono he's got clutched between his hands, watching the seconds tick down towards collision.
Dima would be thinking this must be what it's like to be an artillery shell.
I feel that's a very Space Marine thought as well.
Yeah. He has a little bit of Homer energy as well, though.
I'm an artillery shell.
Artillery shell.
Goods can be traded. Money can be traded for goods and services.
It's easy to think Barbara should be doing the same.
Garthiel will be hyping himself up, ready for brutal mortal combat.
I have to assume Garthiel is in the front seat.
Oh yeah, are there windows?
No, there are not.
To no one's surprise, Barbas is doing a prayer, which is something. I am the Emperor's holy judgment, here to strike down the sinners, the Kroot. I will be his lightning strike.
With a sudden jolt and a rush of sound, the Black Star boarding torpedo slams into the Kroot Warsphere, penetrating through multiple decks and corridors, and finally coming to a stop. The seals activate, and the ramp goes down, and Garthiel, you're in a strange brown metal corridor. Behind you, Dima, you can see the dust is clearing, the debris is clearing, and there is just this strange brown metallic walls made of lots of little squares.
Garthiel jumps out, just sort of looking around.
Just is a straight corridor filled with tubes and pipes. You are dropping straight down on top of the corridor. You're in the roof.
I guess Garthiel hops out, landing with a thud.
It is Calais, squad lead.
Excellent. Move out.
As you enter the corridor, Garthiel, you realise this particular corridor, is only wide enough for one Astartes abreast.
How solid are the walls? Can we make it wider?
Garthiel, you're pretty sure if you punch these walls, you would get sucked out into space. Would you like to jump down, Aaron?
I would love to.
You jump down into the thin brown metal corridor. Garthiel, are you moving left or right?
I'll ask Konstantinos, who has the data slate of the schematics.
Konstantinos, which way?
There's not enough data to ascertain your position yet.
Can I use my siege aspects?
Even then, that would not give you enough. It would only give you a small slice that could match 1,000 different places in the ship.
Barbas is going to chime up with a little bit of a... Garthiel, hold position until we are fully dismounted. We must secure the perimeter before moving forward.
Garthiel will move down the right side of the corridor just to get room for the other Astartes to come down.
Alright. Is everyone just going to disembark then?
Yes, please.
I guess so, yeah.
Is anyone going to take up covering the left position?
Sure.
We're securing the perimeter, sir.
Okay, so Garthiel moves to the right, Dima moves to the left, and then everyone disembarks.
Barbarous.
Yes?
I believe my helmet is capable of looking through armor as thick as power armor. Am I able to perceive through the walls?
Yeah, you can see through one layer of the wall.
One layer? What's behind?
A much larger corridor.
Brothers, it appears that this corridor is contained within another larger corridor.
No, it's next to.
Yes, that corridor is the vacuum of space.
Oh my god. Okay, so August, you've just looked through the walls, and you've seen that next to this corridor you're currently in is a much larger corridor with thicker walls. To your right is about, 50 meters or so of darkness. To your left is 50 meters of darkness. Croc, with your evaluating awareness, you can't detect any Kroot nearby, and the walls seem pretty thin. Constantinos, what would you like to use your siege specs for?
I'm gonna use the auger ray itself because it does have a larger range, but if something does come into the way, I will be using the siege aspect. I'm basically just gonna be trying to check for gas pressures, radiation, anything, any type of light, basically, or any type of gas that would indicate that there's something more there, or if it's straight up a vacuum if we break something.
Okay. Your auger array is going to only be able to return partial scans of its full area, because it will keep encountering things that are too thick or are shielded against it. Your siege specs, giving you a much shorter view, is giving you a very detailed scan though. Nothing is really shielded against the siege specs. From the schematics, and from what you can gather, it very much looks like you're in a maintenance corridor. So not a main pathway, this is a area that is usually for technical access.
So if we do break this wall, it would be a vacuum though?
No, not at all. That was just Garthiel failing a roll entirely.
Oh. Brothers, it does seem we are in a maintenance hallway. Do not worry though, Garthiel. There is no vacuum if we break this bit open just a little bit.
Garfield just watches you carefully.
Double check, cousin. Just in case.
How thin is the wall?
The wall is only a couple of, centimeters thick.
I would like to punch a hole in the wall to make a point.
Give me a strength check.
It's just Konstantinos is carefully using the servo arms, and then it just bonk.
You throw a quick punch at the wall, but manage to connect with a pipe. The pipe then bursts into steam, and all of your senses are fried, and you are all suddenly blinded by a hail of steam.
Well done, squad lead.
Well, nonetheless, I think it is best we move forward until we find a more open area. Somewhere with less pipes for barbers to punch.
Could August use his reductor to make a tiny little hole in the wall just to peek through?
Yeah.
August will hold his hand up in a fist.
Hold on. I can get visual on the outside corridor. Is it worth gathering that information, squad lead?
Barbus, you can see the vague barber-shaped outline in the steam turn around Konstantinos. Did your Auspex pick up anything of note, Konstantinos?
Nothing except that we are in a maintenance hallway, and a larger hallway, basically.
If you believe information gained on the visual spectrum would be that of our rather extensive auger array, August, then by all means.
Yeah, he'll proceed. He'll just raise up his Narcisium, the little drill winding up and jetting out to punch a small hole through the wall.
So you drill a hole through, and getting a visual through, you can actually see there are thick plated windows on the other side of the corridor. And on the other side of that is a semi-agricultural looking area. There's some rough dirt and very desiccated looking plants through the other side. But in there is some Kroot beasts, hounds and Narlochs. It seems that you have landed right next to one of their animal pens.
Can August blink click an image, a pict capture to the squad so that they can see what he's looking at right now?
Yeah.
He's just gonna submit that image to the rest of the squad.
This is a most perilous location we've landed in.
Agreed. Let us move on quickly.
Yes, as discussed, time is of the essence.
We shall first ascertain whereabouts we may be, and move from there. Is there any, because it's a maintenance hallway, so you'd assume there'd be, signs.
Oh, if we know there's a pen, can we narrow it down?
Does not help. No, it narrows it down somewhat, but not enough to know where you are.
I do speak the Kroot language.
The Kroot have no written language whatsoever. So there are no signs, there are no symbols.
Do they have markings?
Nope.
Do you speak Kroot Hound?
I speak Kroot.
Oh.
I mean, they would be trained to respond to Kroot commands. So, I mean, technically, yes.
Kroot Hound, kill yourself.
It just plays dead. It plays dead.
Go, my shit hound. Destroy my enemies.
Can we get a Kroot pet, then?
In theory, maybe. But no, you guys literally have to make the decision, left or right, which way you're heading.
Squad lead, we should go left, because left is always right.
I concur.
I believe you find yourself mistaken, Dima. As the old adage goes, you cannot go wrong going right.
We shall debate this later.
Get on with it. Let us choose a direction.
Garthiel, you take the lead. Let your capable nose sniff out the enemy.
And with that, you head into the gloom of the right, leaving behind your boarding pod, which is undoubtedly already attracting a host of Kroot to its location. So, after a couple minutes of moving at a hurried pace through this maintenance corridor, you come to its end and a doorway that leads out into this larger corridor that this runs parallel to.
Which way, squad lead?
There is a door in front of you.
Oh.
Do you open the door?
I'll look at squad lead.
It's gonna vox click Constantinos.
I was going to say, I also look at Constantinos.
What does the org present?
You have life signs within 20 meters of you. So consulting the siege specs, what you see is a four-way junction ahead of you. This doorway leads out into the right junction. So if you're looking at it, I will draw on the Roll20 real quick. If the top of the four-way junction is north, you are entering the eastern leading corridor. The signatures are in the west corridor and the north corridor.
Can we tell how many there is?
A rough approximate count gives you about 40.
How big are these corridors?
They are quite large. They're wide enough for a starter to stand 3 abreast.
How tall are the corridors?
You guys have to stoop a little bit, but they're pretty comfortable for you.
Oh, that's kind of them.
Kroot are pretty damn tall.
But Bob's going to return. Maintain formation for now. Let them pass. Exercise some of that good old devastator patience.
So, as you wait for a minute or so, you notice that these signatures of the Kroot are all moving towards the eastern corridor.
Look, I'm just saying, if they want to open the door with a Garthiel behind it, by all means.
By all means.
I assume Barbus would be getting constant updates on their position from Konstantinos.
Yes.
Excellent. He's simply going to vox click to Garthiel. Be ready. Enemy approaching. Only engage if engaged.
Barbus is behind me, right? Garthiel's going to crouch down and prepare an attack action.
Suddenly, one of the groups of Kroot moves off down the southern corridor, and the group moving here begins to slowly, very casually walk past the door. Do you do anything?
Squad orders it to stay still.
Okay, so Constantinos, listening in to the Kroot, you realise they are setting up a firing line of heavy weapons directly on your positions, getting ready to gun you down through the maintenance corridor with anti-tank weapons.
Squad lead, they're preparing an ambush with the anti-tank weapons. We should attack now.
Squad, search and destroy! Search and destroy! As Barbas is gonna just slam himself through the wall.
Gathiel will burst through the door.
Oh, okay. All right, we're rolling initiative. Oh, that nearly went real bad for you guys, didn't it?
Look what patience gets us, August.
Look what patience gets
It
you.
gets us into combat immediately.
I think it was a good idea, and we also have the means.
Garthiel, you are basically bursting out of the door, and the Kroot get the drop on you. They are shockingly fast. Like, the door is open, and you are stepping out, your chainsword and breaching auger raised, and the Kroot are already on you, leaping about, slashing at you with their fighting staves. One of them immediately, stabs their fighting blade into your neck, it puncturing through your soft armor and gouging into your collarbone before it pulls the staff back, leaping back. Another throws a bolas at you, trying to pin you to the floor, but you, with your Astarte strength, quickly throw that primitive device off. Meanwhile, the other band of Kroot who were lining up on the walls, now seeing that their plan has been sprung, open fire. A hail of Kroot rifle slugs and stranger weapons that seem to be launching larger, thicker slugs slam through the walls, miraculously missing everyone on the other side.
Gathiel grabs the pike from his neck, snapping it in two, before throwing it into the crowd, activating his siege auger, and just like the Centurions of his home chapter, rip to shreds hordes and hordes of Xenos filth. As the drill bit spins, crushing Kroot guts and flesh between its drill bits.
So Barbas, being the expert in shooting things really good that he is, decides to do a bit of a silly strategy on the Kroot. He full body slams into the wall, punching at a Astarte-sized hole, which in hindsight was actually to throw them off, as he simply activates the prey sense on his autosense goggles and unloads 7 rounds of incendiary death through the wall into the horde, butchering a cluster of them where they stand as they are torched by incendiary ammunition.
Now finish them off. Brother, break a hole for me.
Aye, August. As Konstantinos will move his brand new shiny servo arm recently implanted, the bits of it is going to pincer into the wall, screaming down and kind of just opening it, kind of like one of those old-timey can openers, where it just scrapes it open. Maybe not exactly an Astarte-sized hole, but it's definitely weakened enough that August can see and walk through it.
August cries out a war cry,
Victory and death!
and bolts through this rent hole in the wall, charging headlong into the Kroot pack. August slams into the pack, hacking his axe backwards and forwards, lopping heads left and right, but there's still more that remain.
Dima, almost, I imagine, since it's like 2 seconds apart, following August like a shadow, Dima will charge in right behind him, hitting a couple of Kroot that August will have missed in their initial charge, setting one particularly ablaze.
Konstantinos following out the corridor that he made for August and Dima is going to kind of straight and bring his flamer up, trying his best not to aim to hit his brothers, of course, and trying to get some use out of the flamer. He's brought it for a reason, might as well. Konstantinos coming out of the hole, flamer already going as he just sways it across the side as a beam of heat melts anything in its path. As after the horde is obliterated, he turns the flamer off, turning towards August and Dima before giving the sign of good health.
The scattered few Kroot left against Garthiel immediately turn tail and run, disappearing down the western corridor. And that is the end of the combat.
Garthiel,
August, heal me.
you could stand to be more polite.
August says as he injects a needle into Garthiel's neck.
Okay, yeah, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to consult the schematics? Do you want to just head down one of the corridors?
Actually, something I would like to do, kind of just bend down and try to examine these Kroot to see what they've had in their diet.
I'm actually going to need a Medicaid check for a dissection, and it's going to take you like an hour.
We don't got time for that. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like an extended check.
Can we surgery on the move?
No, you can't.
I'll hold them steady with the 2 servo arms as I do.
You've only got one servo arm.
I got 2.
When did you get a second one?
You said I could have one exceptional bionic, and I chose an exceptional servo arm.
Fair enough.
I told you this.
I got
Do you know
another
what?
one.
I think my head said bionic arm.
Konstantinos, consult the schematics. Can you get a bead on our location?
Well, yeah, so here's the thing. Like, if you needed like a little bit more information to really narrow it down. If you assume down here is a Kroot barracks, that would narrow it down. But if that's not what's down there, then you will be following the wrong area. You'd need more information to be 100% certain.
Squad leader, my educated guess is heading east will lead us to the direction we need to go.
Very well then, I will trust your judgment. Garthiel, take point.
Yes, squad lead.
Shield raised. I want to be right beside Garthiel if possible.
So, you begin moving through the strange alien corridors of the Kroot Warsphere. The hallways are all painted with strange shamanistic patterns, lots of angular shapes, sort of like the wings of birds or beaks, lots of triangles. The corridors are still made up of these strange brown metal paneling that the Kroot seem to be so fond of. It's very Spartan in its design, and very earthy in its tones and colours. Occasionally you will see what seems to be some kind of holy place, perhaps, that is more marked out than others, with, again, these strange symbols. But with your knowledge of ciphers and your knowledge of the Kroot language, you can see there are very clearly no language patterns here. The Kroot navigate this entire massive ship without any form of directional aid.
Could we sort of have a look in maintenance halls as we go past, just to check like wires and technology and stuff, or is it all too alien for us?
It's all too alien. Again, the whole thing with Kroot is that their technology is a mystery, like, properly. It's like, how does Kroot tech work? No one knows. Like, people haven't even seen, in lore, no one has seen a Kroot fabrication area.
I think what I'm Konstantinos is just gonna like make sure that he like takes like, you know, like pictures, like you can hear like the camera like sound as he takes pictures of not only like the art, the symbols and all of that, but also of like whatever skim bits of technology he can find.
Taking lots of pics and storing them in your databanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, as Garthiel and Konstantinos advance up this corridor, Barbas, you looking around, examining the place, you can see there is a lot of signs of foot traffic through this area. Lots of scratches on the floor. You seem like you're in one of the main corridors used for movement around the Kroot sphere. And honestly, you're very disorientated right now about your position, being in that you kind of entered at a strange angle and, you know, you kind of entered from the side almost, but that is then to the Kroot relative, that's the top. So it's a pretty odd feeling at the moment in terms of orientation. It's very confusing to navigate. But yeah, you can see a lot of foot traffic through this area.
There is evidence of large amounts of foot traffic here, brothers. Be on your guard.
Konstantinos, where would that foot traffic be coming from?
Judging by the schematics and where you think you are, it would be coming from behind you, because you're pretty sure eastward of your position leads to the central Kroot city for this dome. That's what you would know from this location.
It seems they are moving from behind us towards the direction we are heading.
Do we know where the shield generators were in relation to the city?
Judging by the schematics, the shield generators are moving outwards from the city. So at the base of the dome, right? So think about the Kroot Warsphere. It's on its side. It essentially looks like a big dog bone, right? 2 domes connected by a bridge. In this dome, the base of the dome, where the dome is flat, is the Kroot Sea. So when it flies through space, all the Kroot are at a 90-degree angle to the direction of travel of the Kroot sphere, a Warsphere. you guys want to head to basically above that city. Because basically heading up through the layers of the dome is where then you will reach the shield generators for this side of the dome. So you continue on down the corridor, Garthiel and Constantinos taking point, Barbas, Dima, and August covering the rear. As you are travelling through the main corridor, suddenly a series of bulkheads slam down around you either side, trapping you in a small section of the corridor with no side doors. Either side of you, behind you and in front of you, are bulkhead doors.
How thick we talking?
They are about 2 meters.
How thick are the ceiling and floor?
Same thickness.
How thick are the walls?
Same thickness, yeah. You're in a seal section.
Garfield, getting enraged at this wall, prepares his breaching auger. As the drill bit starts spinning, the power field whirring a million times per second, as the kill team just sees him punch straight through the bulkhead. Shards of metal and wall flying everywhere.
The hole is nowhere near big enough for an Astartes, and it will take a few more minutes of drilling before it is.
There's Garfield using his 3 attacks per 5 seconds. Well, keep punching.
Constantinos is going to look down at like the siege aspects like panel in his hands as he's going to kind of pull out a wire from it and jamming it into a port in his neck as he just seems to be in deep thought as he raises it up a little bit and begins kind of just waving it around, kind of like pausing for a moment, bringing it closer, nodding before continuing, before turning back to squad lead to give him his assessment.
The siege auger is already beginning to detect Kroots forming in the eastern corridor behind you.
Squad lead, behind us. It seems like they're preparing for an ambush of some sorts. Amateurs.
It is unfortunate for them that we are going the other way, then. Garthiel,
What?
pick up the pace if you would.
Garfield will start punching harder.
Constantinos is gonna like set up like just a little like defensive line, his heavy flamer and shield ready for where the crew are, just in case if that door opens.
In response to seeing you do that, Barbs is going to, the rest of you, in formation. We must be ready for this enemy.
Yes, squad lead.
Can you use any of the scraps of metal I've thrown around to make cover? Or a tactical rock?
Oh yeah, an improved cover tactical rock perhaps? Oh, I agree.
Oh yeah, Varv.
Yeah, you can quickly fabricate a quick defensive wall for everyone to use as cover.
So something worthy of note, by the way, Var, is this time the las cannon is the one on the suspender arm, not the heavy bolt.
Rightio.
There's just a little arm holding a las cannon attached to his backpack.
August. Do you want to do anything, August?
August is gonna look at his chrono. What
my
time
God.
tick by
I'm
his
never
Garfield
prompting you for action if this is what you're doing. I will actively ignore you.
I've been
You
sitting
bring
on
out
that. I've been sitting on that
chrono.
for 10 minutes.
So, about 5 minutes has passed. More and more Kroot forces are arraying themselves on the other side of the bulkhead. But Garthiel manages to finally finish drilling through the bulkhead and having made a hole big enough for an Astartes to get through. However, immediately you see there is another bulkhead on the other side. And there is scarcely enough space for an Astartes to stand between the two.
Okay, so get started on the next bulkhead. How many bulkheads were there?
3 aside.
At the same time, can Konstantinos attempt to hack it?
Is there a data port even?
Do you want to examine around the room, see if you can find anything you think might be a data port?
Oh, right.
Alright, so, Konstantinos, you think you find a panel on the wall that leads to some technology, and there are some wires behind here. You open the panel, sort of begin interfacing with them, and you're making no headway with actually accessing these. And they have a really strong electrical charge they haven't been very careful with handling. But they are consuming a lot of your time, because you keep getting tantalizing fragments of information while interacting with them. Is everyone else staying in the outer area, or are you stepping through into the area Garthiel is drilling?
I'll go with Garthiel. Well up.
Can I move to the side of it so I'm fully covered by the bulkhead that I didn't shatter into pieces, so I can't just be shot straight from?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Just a bit of smart preparation there.
Yeah, so to clarify, August and Barbas are in some impromptu cover enacting Overwatch as Konstantinos is fiddling with a wall panel. Through the first bulkhead is Dima and Garthiel. Garthiel is continuing to drill, standing out of sight of the hole, and Dima is stood next to him, kind of covering the hole, still overwatching. Right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. Another 5 minutes passes.
What are the forces outside looking like now?
They're looking pretty ready to. They're looking pretty well assembled. There's a lot of them out there.
How much cover have we prepared in the 10 minutes we've been waiting?
You've got like decent cover for everyone within this kind of area you got trapped.
Quick question. Do you reckon we could get Konstantinos to weld the other bulkhead down?
Yeah, because Konstantinos has an Omni tool.
Konstantinos, delay their efforts if you please.
Of course, squad lead. Seeing that it is nearly impossible to understand a coding language when they have no language, I feel like that would be a better use of time. So I will get to welding. Konstantinos will kind of unplug himself from the port, getting nowhere as he walks over to the bulkhead where they're the crew. Great people, but they're pretty stupid because I'm a master welder. So Konstantinos is gonna get down and just with his Omni tool begin the process of welding down the bulkhead behind him to the best of his ability.
While the minutes are ticking on, August is going to turn to Barbas on this essentially ad hoc firing line.
Things are dire, are they not, brother?
They are never better, brother. We know where the enemy is coming from. There is only one direction to shoot.
Well said. I hope your bravado lasts to the end. I've seen many brothers lost to the void, brother.
All right, it's a bit dark. Barbas kind of gives you a little bit of a glance. There is no time for dour mood, August. This is not the place. Focus on the mission. Let it bring you comfort.
I'm being practical, brother. If things take a turn, you will take my Arthesium, and you will do what needs to be done.
He doesn't look away from the corridor, but he just gives you, it will be done, brother.
As Konstantinos finishes welding the door, Garthiel breaks through the second bulkhead, revealing the third and final eastern bulkhead. The Kroot pause for a moment. They seem a large number assembled, some of large heat signatures, but they seem to have paused. They're clearly waiting for something.
Is there anything on the Auspex in the eastern direction? Are they all still west?
Nada. Nothing. Everything is to the west.
How far away are they, Konstantinos?
Konstantinos. How far away are they?
With this negative attitude, I don't think I should tell you. I mean,
I'm kidding.
I think the machine spirits are pissed off at you for that. The crew are literally on the other side of the three bulkheads.
They're still on the other side of the western bulkhead, behind all three of them. They're waiting. It's weird.
So, Garthiel,
Yes.
you begin drilling on the third and final eastern bulkhead. As you are nearing the end, you all hear thunderous footsteps coming down the corridor. The trembling carrying through the western bulkheads as it vibrates the small room you have been sealed inside. And just as you breach through the final and third bulkhead, you hear the other two bulkheads on the western side go up, the third unable to as you have welded it to the ground, as you hear a deafening roar of some infuriated creature hurling itself against this now welded bulkhead. And Garthiel, you have just made it through the third bulkhead, the eastern corridor appearing to be clear.
We are clear to go, squad lead.
Boom!
What is that noise I heard?
It matters not. Time is of the essence. Get moving!
Another thunderous crash slams against the last western bulkhead, it already beginning to buckle under the sheer force.
That, brother, is our greater Narlock.
You didn't have to tell him that.
We should face it.
No, Garthiel. The time for a hunt will come later. Our mission is paramount. Would you sacrifice the forces of the Crusade for a single beast?
The beast we shall wait to slay it.
Good answer, Garthiel. Now move!
Gathu will exit through the eastern hole he's just made.
You are immediately confronted with a three-way junction. One corridor heading up, one corridor heading down, and one corridor carrying on. Your schematics tell you should head up.
So with the bulkhead, the side door, the pen we saw, the potential barracks, can we narrow down exactly where we are now?
Yes, you can in fact narrow down where you are. I misread my map. To go back over, there's one corridor leading up, one corridor leading down, and one corridor that's leading straight ahead. The schematics, which you have now narrowed down and you are pretty certain of your location, you now have a really good idea of where you are. Heading up leads to the shields. Heading down leads to a data center. Heading straight ahead leads to the edge of the ship and towards the airlocks.
Squad lead, permission to head towards the data slates and potentially get some information on Puritide finally.
Negative. Mission objective remains paramount. Every second spent is more lives wasted in the name of our Emperor.
Aye, squad lead.
We will return to this place, should it allow.
Perhaps we should secure our exit before we need to, in case we get headed off.
How would you suggest we secure the exit?
Open the airlocks. Keep them, break them, so that we have a way out and something to suffocate any Xenos that try to follow us.
Negative, August. We do not know if they have more bulkheads, but it would stand to reason that they have various measures against depressurization.
Regardless, if they try to ambush us, are there alternative paths we can take to avoid an ambush in our direct path?
Barbara's kind of slow turns towards Constantinos.
August, there is several other airlocks that we could use. Here, and here. But they're just simply not as close.
Very well.
He kind of looks almost nervously between Barbus and Constantinos.
Barbus is consumed in thought a little bit. He's kind of... Constantinos, does the schematic show us where any potentially essential life systems may be?
You hear a thunderous crash from down the corridor behind you, and a deafening roar.
Make it quick, Constantinos. Do it on the move.
Aye, squad lead.
As Barbus takes off running towards the shield generators.
All of you sprint up the corridor leading towards the shields, and following Constantinos' quickly barked directions, you head left, you head right, you head forward, there's a T-junction, you turn right, and it's a dead end. The schematics are incorrect.
So as we round the corner to the dead end, like everyone kind of screeching to a halt, I was going to turn to Constantinos and say, are you quite sure this is the shield generator, brother? It looks remarkably like a wall.
Let me check again. Yes, it's a wall. It seems the schematics we had been given are inaccurate. Yet again, reconnaissance has failed us.
To be fair, Keeper Hamish did literally say this is an average and is our best guess.
Well, our best guess isn't very good. Keep Hamish, guess better next time.
From behind you, you can still hear the terrifying roar. There is another direction to go, however, you are not cornered yet.
Squad lead, make an assessment.
August will immediately start jetting off in this newly revealed direction, trying to map out what this looks like as quickly as possible.
Heading down that direction, there is actually a turn to the left of a smaller door with a smaller corridor. One that the Greater Narlock could not fit through.
Brothers, we have an escape route. It will not be able to follow us past this doorway.
Excellent.
This is a temporary reprieve.
August has shown initiative, squad. Take from that example. Let us move.
You all quickly follow behind August, ducking down into this corridor. Are you hurrying along it?
Yes.
Let's get some scans going from Constantinos. Maybe the odd awareness check from, I don't know, the guy with the phantom doors.
Well, I mean, you can do that as you're
yes,
running.
No, we're absolutely running
I mean?
down the corridor,
Yeah.
yes.
So as you run down this corridor, the environment changes. It switches from metal to wood. Either side of you are large cages built into the walls. And as you hurry down this corridor, which is only 20 meters long or so. You burst through another door into a large room filled with cages. Your Auspex are lighting up with heat signatures. This entire area is filled with life forms. None of them Kroot. There are cages filled with humans and strange Xenos beasts.
Hey, Varvus here, coming at you from the void once again. Sorry this episode took a little while to come out, but that is because it wasn't edited by me for a change. It was edited by the lovely Ravni, who is a part of our expanding team. So yeah, thank you very much to Ravni, and obviously a huge thank you to the patrons who are providing enough money to, allow me to live and also now start to offload a little bit of the work to some other people. Hopefully this means we'll start getting to more regular episodes soonish. We're just training up Ravni so she knows what to cut, what to edit, teaching her all the tricks of the trade. But if all keeps going well, we should start to progress back towards weekly episodes. We're still very much in flux at the moment with the series, trying to streamline it, make it a bit easier to produce, and a couple of other little bits and bobs to improve the show's overall quality and whatnot. There's a lot of changes happening behind the scenes as well, as we have other projects underway now as well to try and make it so that we have more than just Puritanicals on the channel. If you want to keep up with all of that, please do consider joining the Patreon. It is the single most important thing for making sure that this project can all continue. Absolutely, the world is owed to the patrons, glorious peoples. If you'd like to support the channel but can't afford to donate monthly via the Patreon, I do have a Ko-fi for one-off donations, which are always appreciated as they are used to buy little bits and bobs and whatnot. I also stream on Twitch Tuesdays at 6 PM GMT, but obviously I do other little streams every now and then, so if you want to keep really abreast of everything that's going on, please consider joining our Discord. Link is in the description, where you can meet a bunch of fun people and participate in our community campaign, which is a lot of fun. You might have seen a couple of those episodes on the channel. And now I'm just going to finish out this episode by reading out all the patron names, because it's been a little while since we did that. And I think they deserve it because, oh my god, they are the best. So, we have Invis, Arc Guardian, Damon, Spectre 324, Drunkard, Shadowbringer, Shrongle Bongle, Ravni, Braden Garner, Ollie Wally, Mason Rodine, The Real Valerian, Skylord Alex, Homunculi, Metric, Ferris, Chrysor Valar, Mitch W. Big ups to Mitch, he recently made a model of Watch Captain Varvus, which will be on screen. Grand Dadmiral, big ups to Grand Dadmiral, who is the terror of the community campaign streams, which I would highly recommend checking out. Gobby Todger, Lord Mick Thy Dick, Voldasterian, love Voldy as well, another of the terrors of the community campaign streams, but this time a force for good. Leon, Tiberos the Colorblind Wake, Rough Time, and I Do Pictures. So yes, thank you all very much, patrons, for your support, and thank you all the people watching, leaving lovely comments. And until next time, suffer not the alien to live.